This is an overview of options available to access Sage CRM on a mobile device. So we're going to use a smartphone as an example and offer two alternatives. One of those is the app, the Sage CRM app, which is downloadable from the Apple Store. It's also available from the Android Store as well. And the alternative option is just to access your Sage CRM database live via a browser. So we'll talk about the differences between the two and the pros and cons of each. So first of all, let's look at the app. So on the screen now we have a Sage CRM person record, and on the right, of course, is an iPhone. I'm just going to log into the app by clicking on the icon. When it launches, you just require to put a password in there. Of course, in the URL string below where I'm typing in the password, that will need to be the just the normal string that you use to access your database when you're outside the corporate firewall. So it logs in pretty quickly, and you can see that it's arranged in a fairly simple way. There are three tabs across the top: CRM, Phone and Favs. So CRM is your CRM contacts. The Phone is literally listing the contacts within your personal information manager on your phone, because what the system allows you to do is add those contacts to your CRM database if you wish. So if you go into Phone, you can pick any one of those contacts in there, add to CRM. So it will add it to Sage CRM and synchronize it back. Favs, when you select any record within the system, either on Phone or CRM, you can favorite that particular record. So if there are contacts that you revisit frequently, you can go into their record, tap the star in the top right hand corner, and that becomes a favorite. So when you click on Favs, it will just list automatically all your favorite contacts. So a fairly simple screen presentation. If I'm looking for a particular contact, I'm just going to start typing in the search bar at the top. It's a universal search, so you can type in any part of the person's name or the company they work for. So if I type in ABC, here's the person I'm looking for, Mark Gilder at ABC PLC, which of course is the record in view in Sage CRM on the left hand side. So select the record, and you can scroll up and down the screen with your thumb to expose further information. But I'm looking at basic details, so you can see there near the top: email address, mobile number, office number, address, salutation, further details below that. The icons at the top represent different things, of course. The first one, the orange one, is just a history of communications, opportunities, things that I've been doing with that contact. The second button in the red circle there is opportunities, so that would list any opportunities that I've got open with that contact. There aren't any with this particular one at the current time. Now, one of the limitations of the app is that it enables you to view opportunities and view contact and company data, but you cannot edit that data within the app. So if I go back, the only things that you can edit within the app are notes, so you can attach a note to a contact or a company or an opportunity, and also calendar items. So you can schedule an event, a diarised event, against the opportunity or the person, and that will synchronize back to Sage CRM. So if I click on the icon to the right of the one that we've just been in, the red one, so this one that looks like a page, a note, there are notes. There aren't any notes in there at the moment, but if I click on the plus in the top right hand corner, I can tap in a note. So just type in something simple, click add to note, and that information goes directly into Sage CRM. So if I just come across to my Sage CRM on the left hand side, click on the notes tab of the Mark record, the Mark Gilder record that we were looking at, and you'll see that immediately that note has been added to the system. If I was to go on and add a note in the main Sage CRM system, I'm not going to see that in the mobile device app until I've synchronized, but we'll come back and look at that in a moment. So if I click the back button, so we've got notes. I did mention calendar. We'll come on to that as well. You can interact with the client from the mobile app, so I can send emails, I can make phone calls, and that information will be recorded in the communications as well. So it is just notes, calendar, or communication items that sync back. So if we just look at an example of that, if I click on the email address of the person, it opens up a new email template, so I can just type in some stuff there. And when I click on send email, it actually transfers that email to my local email system, which is obviously just the native iOS email system. And I can amend the email further if I want to, send it from there. And clicking send does two things. It sends the email, but it also saves a copy of the email in the Sage CRM record. So if I just come back now to the communications tab of the Mark Gilder record and click on there, you'll see at the top is the email I've just sent. So Mark Gilder test. There's the email. Hello, Mark. The same sort of thing happens with telephone calls as well. So you can see on the Mark record, I've got a mobile number, an office number. I can click on either one of those and make a call or send a message. So let's click on call. I can proceed to make the call, but you'll see in the background that it's automatically opened up a history to log the call. So it records the fact that I've made a call to Mark at the mobile number. It's asking me to type in a narrative that describes what occurred during the phone call. Click log a call, and that's also in the history. So if I just come back over to the main CRM record, I'm just going to click to refresh the screen. We should see that call in the communications tab. And there it is. So there's my call. So emails, phones, you can just see below that we've got an address that's interactive with the mapping application on your device. So if I tap on the address, it's just going to open the map app, so I can see where that address is. So as you can see, rather uncomplicated. I click the little arrow in the top left hand corner to take me back to the main menu, and in the top left hand corner, those parallel bars, that's the menu to access other functions within the app. We've been looking at contacts, which is the top one. Opportunities, of course, will list, well, any opportunities that you've configured the system to send you. So you could configure it to send you just the opportunities that you own as a user, or all the opportunities that are being worked by people in the team that you're a member of, or all the opportunities in the system that are open. As mentioned before, I can only look at the opportunity information, so you can expand on it by clicking on the arrow to the top right of it. So I can see who the opportunity is with, contact details for them, what the state is, references, descriptions, details, dates, values, etc. So I can look at it, but I can't update it in any way. The only thing I can do is add a note to the opportunity, which is synchronized back to Sage CRM. Going back to the main menu again, so contacts, opportunities, calendar. There's nothing in my calendar, but I can add a diary event, so the little plus in the top right hand corner. It can either be a meeting or a task. So a meeting has a start date and an end date and can have a location, whereas a task just has a subject and a due time. So let's just put in a simple task. So send a quote. Who is the task with? So again, this is a simple search facility. So if I type in Gil, because it was Mark Gilder I was looking for, there he is. Due date and time, I'm going to set this as a task for Monday morning at 9 o'clock. Tap on the date to select it, and then I can put the details in. The guy needs a quote quickly. Add to CRM. And that's going to be in my task list, ready for Monday morning. In fact, you can, if you want to, tap on the task that you've just created and enable an alarm. So the little alarm clock in the top right-hand corner, tap on that. If I click 30 minutes, then at 8:30 on Monday morning, I'll get an alert for that task on my mobile phone. So the Sage CRM app is integrating with the PIM, the Personal Information Manager alarm systems on your mobile device. And here's my task, my to-do. And the process would be exactly the same if I wanted to add a diary event to my calendar as well. So looking further down the main menu, Favourites, of course, takes me back to the favourite screen that I talked about earlier on. We can favourite people or opportunities. And History is a little bit like the recent feature within Sage CRM. So it just shows you the records that you've recently been looking at or working with. So tasks, opportunities, contacts, those that I've looked at most recently. You can revisit quickly and easily. The other feature of significance but download data. So when you click on download data, it would connect to the server, look to see if there's any more data to bring down, and of course if there is, then you would synchronize and bring that data down to the device. So the user is required to manage that synchronization. In terms of setting what gets synchronized, it's just a case of going to the settings on your mobile device and Sage CRM, and then down in the bottom of the screen, these are the options in terms of what gets synchronized. So opportunities, as mentioned, I can see all of them, just those that are assigned to me or those that are assigned to the team that I'm a member of. Contacts, similarly, all of them my assigned contacts where I'm the owner of that record, or those owned by a member of a team that I'm also a member of. Calendar range. Of course, the calendar can get quite busy, so the broader the calendar range you set to synchronize, the longer those synchronizations are going to take, the more data there is to be exchanged. And then download method. Typically, you'll do an initial layout download and get all data, and then reset the system just to get changes that have been made to the data that you're synchronizing. And that is the app. So let's take a quick look now at connecting directly to the Sage CRM database on a mobile device. So you could save a shortcut on your smartphone, log in as before using username and password that you'd normally use to access the database, the Sage CRM system. The interface is slightly different, but you can see here's my calendar view, so I'm logging straight into calendar and looking at today's diary, the 10th of January is when I'm recording this video, and I can choose to look at the calendar by day, by week, by month. So I'm going to choose to look at it by week. So this is currently the second week in January, but I want to go and look at next week. So if I click the arrow to the right, I'm now looking at week 3. The filters are set to show me all types of event at the pending status, so things that haven't been completed yet. And of course, if I go down, I can see the task that I set myself earlier on in the mobile app. So if we go back up to the top, you'll see that there is also a plus button just beneath the calendar. So I can go into calendar, I can look at communications, opportunities, cases, leads. So let's look in communications. So if I go up to the top of the screen again, the 3 parallel bars in the top left-hand corner, this is where I can access the menu. A principal difference between accessing the database in this way is that you have find, so you can search, and you can search by company, by person, by case, sales opportunity or a lead, but you also have new. So as well as find, the ability to search, I've also got the ability to add a new record. So new takes me into add a new company by default, but just below where it says company at the top, if I expand new, I can add a new company, a new individual or person, a new support case, a new sales opportunity, a new communication, which of course might be a meeting or a phone conversation or such like, or a new lead. So I can add new records at any stage. So if I click on new individual, for example, you'll see that the fields are available to me. I can just populate the fields as you normally would. If there's a drop-down list in CRM, that drop-down list is similarly available on the mobile app. You can see a lot of these fields have a red background and an asterisk to the right of the field label. That just means those are mandatory fields. So when you've populated the record, it's just a question of going to the top right hand corner and clicking the Save button to save that record. Now what you're doing here is you're actually creating records directly in the main database. So a fundamental difference between this approach and the previous one with the app is the app is generally offline. So the display of information is offline. You are able to create notes and communications, as we saw, directly in the database, but this approach is entirely offline. So if you don't have internet connectivity, you will not be able to use this solution at all on the mobile device. You can only use the app. But the benefit of using this approach is that you can add those new records, you can add new opportunities, you can edit opportunities that are already on the system, and that information is added or edited directly in the main Sage CRM database. So anybody else that's logged in to the system will be able to see those changes in real time. One of the other benefits of using the mobile view is that you can also access report information. So if reports have been customized, they can be accessed on the phone or the smartphone or mobile device as well. Those reports would be configured in the main database on a full-size screen, specifically to be exposed on a mobile device. And that is another feature of the mobile approach, using the browser on the smartphone, in that the screens can be customized to show different information depending on your specific requirements. Whereas with the app, it is what it is. It's pre-customized, and you have to operate within the confines of what's already there. So for this particular case, I might want to run a report that shows me opportunities by source. I can select a source and go on to produce the output on a mobile screen, providing that report has been configured by the administrator to display on a mobile device. So those are the options. If you've got any specific questions, or if there are any particular scenarios you'd like us to explain how you'd approach those with either of those mobile solutions, please do get in touch.